What's going on, everyone? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics, and I'll say, this was a video that I was a little torn on making, just because I don't know, kind of want to make positive videos every once in a while, but there are always these things that pop up that you just you feel like you have to talk about, and this is one of them. And I mean, I'll say this is partially I'll say it's partially a criticism on CGC, but also something that I think is a worthwhile question or topic for discussion, just in general out there, for how this situation should be handled when you're talking about grading. So, what we're talking about here, and it's going to be a more generic topic, but the focal point for this is this book, Suspense Comics #3, because it is a perfect example of this, and it's happened twice now. So what we're talking about is how married pages and that kind of thing are identified and graded within a book. Because, I mean, this one, it shocks me when we see this problem pop up with CGC. It honestly, it just shocks me, because this is such a huge book, and it is so rare that you would think that they would put just a little more time into it to make sure that they don't make a mistake like this, that they don't have something missed like this on a very, very expensive book. So this is Suspense Comics #3. If you're not aware, it is considered like the best cover, most in-demand cover ever done by Alex Schomburg. Super expensive book. Even this 0.5 is probably 20 grand. It's just super, super expensive book. And if you're not aware, a little while ago, maybe like 2 years ago, something like that, there was an issue that came up where a 1.0 Universal popped up on Heritage. And, a lot of people are excited about seeing that. Hadn't seen one in a while. And then somebody with some eagle eyes spotted it and posted on the CGC forums. I tried to find that post. I could not find it. It might have been removed for all I know. But they saw that 1.0 Universal had the exact same cover as this book, this 0.5. And so it's like, hey, obviously, this book was, what was it? It was missing like multiple pages, I think. Small piece missing from many pages, and last 4 pages missing, effects story incomplete, blah, 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 blah. So what somebody had done is they had taken this book, cracked it out, married in the pages to complete the book. And we don't know the full history. It's possible that person then sold it raw to someone else and never told them that it was married. And then that person got it graded and it came back Universal and they didn't know. And they're like, okay, look, I got a Universal book. Or it's possible that somebody married in the pages, hoped that CGC wouldn't notice, got it graded, saw they didn't, and said, hey, look at me. I just, won the lottery because now this book is a Universal. But when you're talking about golden age books like this, rare books like this, the people that look at them, that collect them, they are going to really pay attention. And so somebody spotted this and saw hey, that's a problem. And so it ended up getting sent back into CGC. Then it came back here. You can see it here. And now it had, it finally got the correct thing where it said cover and centerfold married and detached. So that was the other thing. It was interesting that they found that the cover was also married. I mean, it was all kinds of weird stuff. Who knows what happened here? Because that doesn't even align with, with this one where it said what it was. Last 4 pages were missing. Didn't have anything about the centerfold. So I don't know if it was a completely different interior or what, but that's not the point here. So regardless, at least that one at least identifies it as married. Maybe somebody pulled that cover off and put it on a different one. Who knows? But so why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because I just saw this book and its counterpart that had been, resubmitted recently. And so this is a 0.5, and you can see it says centerfold and page 15 missing. Okay, now we have this book, which is the same book. You can tell it's the same book. It's got the same tear up here, the same stain right here. And here it is, same tear, same stain. It's the same book, okay? It is now a conserved copy, which is fine. And it says centerfold married. This one said it was missing the centerfold and page 15. So this should say centerfold married and page 15 married, but it doesn't. If we check the notes, it says married centerfold, multiple tear to cover, multiple crease, cover breaks color, piece out of right top back cover, tape pull back cover, chip out of bottom of front cover, detached 3 center wrap. That page 15 is part of that 3 center wrap, from my understanding of how this center works. It's like if you're not aware, in this time period, they would have these like, we'd call like half sheets, where it's just like, it's a single page, it's not a full wrap. Apparently, like that page 15 is one of those half sheets, and then you have the centerfold. And so CGC spotted that the centerfold was married, but they did not spot that the page 15 wrap was also married. And so now you have this book here where the person who's buying it, and this can matter when you're talking about books that cost this much. I mean, look at this. Like, let's go into the recent sales. A 1.5 for $66,000, a 4.0 for $156,000, a 4.0 restored for $82,000, a 4.5 restored for $45,000. This is an expensive book. Things matter. Little things like that matter. Is it just the centerfold that's married? Is it the centerfold and another page that's married? All of that. That stuff makes a difference in the value of the book. Also, when this book is getting graded, it is absolutely the unlimited tier. You know, this is costing, you know, they probably have the discount. It's like 3.2% of value. What might this 3.0 conserve be valued at? I mean, 40,000? I don't know, 30, 40,000, maybe more than that. 3% of value. There's like $1,000 to grade this book at least. And CGC had this exact same book in their database. Like, it had to have been so easy to check. And this is the type of thing that should be done, like, in my opinion, especially when you're dealing with books like this. Look for past copies, like with super rare stuff, because someone's going to spot it. You know, someone's going to spot that there's a problem, you know, eventually. And it's like, this is the type of thing that they should be catching. But that's not necessarily the full point of my rant here. I mean, yes, it is, in my opinion, kind of ridiculous that they didn't catch this on a book like this. But my other question here, and this is kind of the question for the community at large, is how should CGC handle comics where they can't confirm that it's all original or not? And so what I'm talking about here is, like, say you've got a book that has a split spine, and it's really worn where the staple was. Like, this is a single staple book, which is what makes this one maybe a little easier to cheat on and that kind of stuff. But let's say, you know, a bunch of paper is missing around that spine, or on the spine, or on the cover there. And so they can't confirm that this cover goes with this book. So, I mean, that's exactly what happened really with this one. Because you see here, there's the staple. All that paper's missing around it. There is no way for you to confirm that this cover goes with this book, because the staple, the paper that would align the holes and everything, isn't there. And that's absolutely how people cheat the system. You know, they can absolutely cheat the system that way. What do you think is worth more? A married cover, like a married cover like 3.0 or 4.0, or we'll say a 2.0 universal, but you've removed paper around the spine at the staple? Absolutely the 2.0. The 1.0 would be worth more, maybe even the 0.5. So there's reasons why people would do this to make it so that it's, you know, not obvious if it's original to the book or not. And so my question is, how should CGC handle those? Because we know in cards, like PSA has questions about like the authenticity of a card or something like that. They just won't grade it. And that's kind of the question here, is like, because CGC is stamping on this book, you know, basically like, this is what this is. You know, this is like, we are the official grader of this. This is exactly what this book is. If they can't confirm what it is, should they reject the book for grading? And I mean, in my opinion, they should. Like, that's my stance on it, is that if they can't confirm that everything is either original or what specifically is married, they should not grade the book. You know, if there's detached pages on the inside and it's so torn up that they can't confirm that the staple aligns, just say, sorry, we can't validate this book. We have to reject it. Like, that's my opinion on this stuff. Because, and yeah, that hurts a lot of old books, because a lot of old books have split spines, have a lot of wear there and all that. But I mean, otherwise you end up with this kind of situation where you had a book that was graded as universal, and the only reason it was spotted is because somebody else noticed that there was a problem. Then it got sent back in. Same thing here. Unless this gets sent back in, this is forever identified incorrectly. It is identified that only the centerfold was married, and that is not true. The centerfold and page 15 was married, assuming it's complete. I have to assume it's complete. I mean, they say detached 3 center wraps, so that's probably what it is. But yeah, I mean, this is just the type of thing that, I mean, to me, like, one of the biggest roles for CGC, I mean, grading obviously is important, but when you're talking about expensive, rare stuff, identifying if the books are all original, identifying restoration, those are like two of the big responsibilities that, you know, that name means. You're like, that's what they're doing for us, right? Because like I think I'm pretty good at grading, but I feel like there's stuff I could easily miss like this that I'm hoping that they catch. You know, like that's what I want them to catch. And when you see them miss something like this on one of the biggest books that's out there, you're just like, what are you guys doing? You know, like, in my opinion, like if say it must be like maybe that page 15 that got married in was all torn up at the staple, and they should have said, sorry, we can't grade this. We can't confirm that that is original. They send it back, and then maybe the person responds as, oh yeah, it's married. And they provide a note. Like, I had to do that. I've talked about this before. I had to do that with my Superman #2. I had it had a married cover. I had conservation done to it, where I had leaf casting done to the book. I put a note on the book that said it was married. They graded it and sent it back and did not say it was married, you know? And I was like, this is wrong. I sent it back into them, and they added the married note, but that was only because of the kindness of my heart. You know, it's because I can't let that pass through. But you can't count on that. There's lots of scummy dealers and sellers and everything out there that purposefully try to get things past CGC. You know, that's what they try to do, like marrying in the tattoos on ASM 238, you know, that kind of stuff. And marrying in, I mean, like this, like marrying in pages on this book and trying to get it past and getting a universal. You know, not everybody is out there like with this like, you know, that just have the best intentions for the hobby. Plenty of people out there that are just out there to scam as much as possible and make as much as possible. And so like this kind of stuff, I don't like seeing, but I feel like the answer is that they should reject grading on the book. Like, if they can't confirm, they should reject grading the book. But let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. I don't know. I mean, they just got to know, like, when you're grading this book, there's going to be eyes on that book, and you need to just spend another couple minutes checking the history of the books, the copies you've graded, checking Go Collect or whatever else for images of CBCS copies. Just, you're getting paid $1,000 to grade that book, right? Like, spend a few minutes. But yeah, rant over. Hopefully enjoy this. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, and I will see you on the next one.